See, I told you Michael Cohen could not be trusted. So after Joy Reid had her interview with Michael Cohen, he's been going on a world tour talking about he's exonerated. He's exonerated. He had nothing to do with Katie Johnson, the woman that sued Trump in 2016. And all of a sudden, she decided to drop her case 4 days before the election. Now, Joy is on with Lev Parnas and was all like, hey, I'm not going down with this sinking ship. Let's go ahead and get into it, you guys. But first, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. All right, you guys, this is a short video because they get right into it. And then I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on this whole Michael Cohen situation because I still think that he's a liar.
And this is why we've gone live, because Michael Cohen has been going on his shows, invoking Joy Reid's name, and Joy is a good friend, and I will not stand for it, saying that Joy Reid is corroborating and validating everything Michael Cohen said. And I want to make it clear that that is not the case. Joy has corroborated, and Joy is here to tell you herself, yes, there is another Jane Doe case. Yes, there is another lawyer, and Joy could say it herself, but that is not the accusations or any accusations that anybody has claimed to be to Michael Cohen. None of us have ever accused Michael Cohen of anything except for having more information and being more helpful to us to be able not only to uncover what happened during the Epstein situation, but also what happened during the 14 years he was involved with Donald Trump. So that is why we're doing this live, Joy, and that's why, if whatever you want to add to it.
No, absolutely. Well, just for full transparency, there was a point at which I was trying to bring Lev and Michael together. I invited both of them to come up to New York. Lev was going to leave sunny Florida, and it takes a lot for somebody to leave the beautiful weather there and go up to freezing cold New York. And we were going to try to get the two of them in one room because my experience is, just as a journalist, these two gentlemen have become really great sources of mine. I have interviewed both of them, and I've interviewed them from the point of view of a journalist. I'm not intimately involved in Trump world. I have to talk to people who are, people who have knowledge, people who have insider knowledge. That's who you want to talk to when you're trying to understand what's happening in an organization. And I'm friendly with both of these gentlemen. I think they're both outstanding people to talk to.
One thing, and I think we should probably watch this together, and let me know in the comment section if you would like for me to review it. But on PBD's podcast, the Patrick David podcast, Michael Cohen was on there, and basically he was saying that he would love to talk to Trump. He was glazing Trump the whole time, but he would love to have a conversation with Trump. So he openly admitted this. So just knowing that, Michael Cohen can be trusted. He's not going to tell us what he actually knows about Trump because, one, he already admitted that he's trying to get a pardon. And two, he wants a phone call with Trump. He wants to be back in that inner circle. You can't trust him, Joy. Come on, wake up.
They're very interesting people. But what I don't appreciate is then my journalism. I had I spent a whole afternoon basically on and off the phone with Michael Cohen a few weeks ago because he called me because he was very distressed about allegations that he may have intimidated or attempted to intimidate Katie Johnson, who we all know is one of the named alleged Trump and Epstein accusers that sued them both. And there's a lawsuit that's sitting right next to me. I have a lot of paper on my WeWork desk here. And the question was, is Katie Johnson Jane Doe? Is Jane Doe Katie Johnson? And so I found this to be a fascinating question because I've been calling Katie Johnson and Jane Doe the same person since 2016. And so if they're not the same person, and Michael Cohen was investigating a completely different Jane Doe, that's actually really newsworthy and important information. So I spent a whole day going into the weeds. I pulled Katie Fang into it. I'm pulling
Ellie Leonard, yeah.
I pulled Ellie Leonard into it. I just started reaching out to people and saying, can any of y'all help me to try to figure this out? And what we wound up sort of assessing is that there is a totally different Jane Doe. And I, like Michael, and I'm sure you, Lev, were trying to reach out to Lisa Bloom, who was Katie Johnson's lawyer. Not been able to reach my good friend, and Lisa and I were very good friends. Never was able to reach her. But I did manage to reach out to the attorney, Thomas Meager, who represented Katie Johnson / Jane Doe. And while he would not give me an on-the-record interview, he was very not interested in talking. So let me just make that very clear.
Right.
But I was able to learn from sources close to the case that he was, in fact, the attorney for Katie Porter, and that Katie Porter is Jane Doe number one, but that there is a whole separate Jane Doe. And Michael Cohen.
Now, here's the problem with that, because I don't remember the meager guy being a part of it. Who actually was hold on, let me actually show you guys right now. Was Cheney Mason, the defense attorney for Casey Anthony. That's who actually was Katie Johnson's lawyer. So whatever lawsuit they're talking about, it's not the one with Katie Johnson, because this was her lawyer right here, the guy who was the defense attorney for Casey Anthony. Now, I know that's questionable right there with Casey Anthony, but he was the lawyer. Even Tara Palmieri interviewed him. Or actually, she got a statement from him. He didn't do an interview. She got a statement from him saying that he vetted the client, talking about Katie Johnson, and he found her story to be reliable. So that's why he took on the case. But now let's go back to the video. And again, it's kind of like, all right, well, who else would have been handling lawsuits as far as, because isn't Michael Cohen the only one that went to jail, you guys? Who else that was a part of Trump's legal team? And I know he probably had multiple lawyers, right? But who else was a part of his legal team that was, threatening people, covering up for him? Like, that person needed to go to jail too.
Was right about there being two cases, but he himself also thought that Katie Porter and Jane Doe, they were the same person. So that is the thing I'm involved in. And that's all I know, is that there is a second Jane Doe, Lev. And so that is what I corroborated, that Michael Cohen has. I don't have any other information to corroborate. I can only corroborate that.
Correct. And the whole thing about it, Joy, is that's the whole thing. It's not just about that. That's why we're trying to get Michael Cohen up to speak, to ask him questions about the second Jane Doe, that Jane Doe that he dealt with, the Jane Doe, the lawyer of the Jane Doe. And you did a phenomenal job interviewing him, because yes, after you guys got done with that, the problem that we're all having is then all of the other questions that you started asking him, all of the other things. He couldn't even admit that Donald Trump, after everything we've seen, after spending 14 years working for him, after watching everything that came out, his name being over 1 million times in the documents, at the end, he couldn't even admit that Donald Trump is somehow.
And he made sexual objectifying comments towards his daughter. And he still couldn't say, yeah, I can see Trump, or even like, I suspect that there's something wrong. Not every father needs to have a daughter. I'm going to say that.
Complicit, or he said, until I see the facts, I've not seen anything. He's never done anything. And that is the point of the situation where
he didn't say he's never done anything. He said he, as an attorney,
correct. He has
no evidence that Donald Trump is a pedophile or that he abused children.
Well, that he's seen it, but not even that, even about any any kind of accident like that. And then because of that, that's why all we wanted to know, and all, just like Ellie, myself, Zev, and like yourself, that's why we said, no, Jerry Springer, we want to have a conversation, because there's a lot of questions. Like, for instance, we spoke to the private investigator of Katie Johnson. He has questions, like, the one thing is what bothers me, and that's why I reached out to you to try to be the mediator, because we're trying to get to the answers, to the bottom, is we should be all sitting down in the room. Like Michael Cohen should be sitting down with Ellie and all you and us and saying, hey, this is what I remember. This is what happened. I think this one, and we all should be trying to come to the bottom. We're not trying to attack and say, this is a gotcha moment. Michael Cohen did this and this.
I said Katie Porter, so I meant Katie Johnson. Sorry about that.
Katie Johnson, correct. Yes, Katie Johnson. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Katie Johnson. Yes. So
Katie Porter's Lord.
Right. Right.
Let's not forget how defensive he is, and he's threatening to sue people for telling the truth about him. Because again, something that they don't mention in here was the whole Rule 35. What information did he have on Trump where they would invoke Rule 35 and give him a lesser sentence to then prosecute Trump with whatever that he knew about Epstein and Trump? There's still information that Michael Cohen is not telling the truth about. He's a liar. He's a liar. You can't trust him. Don't forget, he went to jail for lying.
Right. So it's like, this is not about Michael Cohen. We're not trying to do a gotcha moment. We're not trying to blame Michael Cohen that he did something wrong. If he did or he didn't, we're trying to get Donald Trump out of us. We're trying to get justice for the survivors. So we're trying to say, hey, come on out and talk to us. So the problem is, and right now, is we have a divided community here for no reason. We need to unite. We need to get back together. We need to get on the same track. We need to get back to facts. And I just, Joy's here. Want to say in front of everybody, thank you, Joy. So busy. She has a lot of time. She came on for us to clear this up. I want to do an open invitation to Michael, Joy being the mediator, anytime for us to sit down, no Jerry Springer, no arguments, to have a good conversation, to get to the bottom, to get to the truth. And not just about, there's so many other things that we could talk about, from my knowledge about Trump, his knowledge about Trump, other people in the administration, with Joy's platform and everything, where we could really do some incredible things. So that is what we're trying to do, not to get into this he said, she said, what we somehow got into. So I want to thank you, Joy, for you doing this quick one to clear this up. I love you, and keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, and I mean the bottom line is this: I still believe that the best way to clear all of this up is for Michael and Lev and Ellie and the whole group to come together. Let's sit down. I will moderate. I am neutral, therefore I can moderate. Everybody, because listen, at the end of the day, I think Lev said he nailed it. What we actually care about is that there are a group of victims who are not getting justice.
That's right.
I cannot explain, if Donald Trump is innocent, why he is so determined to hide what's in the Epstein files, why he becomes so enraged when the Epstein files are brought up, why he's fighting.
And again, something that they're missing is that the whole point is that he wants to get back in with Trump. He wants to be cool with Trump again. So will he be honest and actually tell the truth if there's anything incriminating towards Trump? This is why he doesn't want to be confronted. He went to Joy Reid because Joy Reid was a safe space for him. That's why. He does not want to talk to Lev. He does not want to talk to Ellie. And he does not want to talk to Tara. He hates those people because they call him out on his shit. And I'm not saying that Joy didn't call him out on his shit. But at the end of the day, Joy is a neutral party. And she really, didn't really understand and know what was going on. She was just trying to get down to the truth, where they've already caught Michael Cohen in some lies because, again, he's been saying, oh, I don't know anything about Trump and Epstein. But again, when the Epstein files came out, that was proven to be a lie because you were trying to get Rule 35. Y'all let me know what you think about this. But also, I want to show you guys the short that Tara Palmieri did because she actually spoke with Katie Johnson's lawyer. The Mulger guy, I don't know who that is, but this was her actual lawyer. So let me go ahead and pull this up right now for you guys because I feel like this needs to be looked at as well, too. And definitely, I'm going to try to go to Tara Palmieri's website to get the whole interview because I definitely want to know what's going on.
I have no doubt in my mind that she told the truth. That's a quote from Cheney Mason, the lawyer for the Jane Doe who accused President Trump and Jeffrey Epstein of rape in 2016, right before the general election. She said she was 13 years old and it was in 1994 at Epstein's house. Cheney is breaking his silence for the first time in nearly a decade. And he told me about the vetting process before he filed that explosive lawsuit. He said that they flew her from California, they questioned her over a number of days, and they even hired private investigators to verify her claims. She ended up withdrawing it just days before the election. Her lawyer said that she was receiving threats. President Trump has denied all of the claims. This interview with Mason is interesting because it offers new details about a case that has been so widely discredited and really not covered by the mainstream media. If you want the full story, head to the Red Letter by going to the link in my bio or by going to...
There you guys have it. So again, I'm definitely going to check out that article and report back to you guys. I love y'all for watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And Michael, whatever you know, just tell the truth. And trust me, Trump's probably not going to give you that pardon. He's probably just leading you on so you don't say anything or give the real truth about what you actually know. Love y'all. We out of here. Deuces, everybody.